also what's nice with it is you can kind of control how you want to go. If you want to go heavy on the carbs, if you want, for myself personally, I like to go heavy on the protein, use a lot of egg, a lot of meat, and then a lot less on the rice. So that's why it's good to do it on your own. One thing that I always suggest, which would be perfect if you're on your own for the first time, is a rice cooker. Is I got like a little tiny one where you can cook as much as 1 cup of rice or 20 cups of rice at a time, and it's so simple. You do 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water plus a half a cup, and your ratio always goes the same. If it's 2 cups, you go 2 cups with either amount of water and with half a cup. You could set it at any, you set it and you can cook it, and it will hold for literally 20 hours as long as you want it to. And that would be perfect for this kind of dish because you come home, you have the rice already ready for you. So like I said, just do a vegetable fried rice, really simple right here. First I'm going to start with a little sesame oil. And you can use any kind of oil, and honestly you could even do it without even cooking in oil at all. I do this for myself with just pan spray, but the sesame is going to give you a little bit of authenticity to it. Same with the garlic to just get a little bit of aromatics going. Chopped roast, you can use ginger if you wanted to. Vegetables. What I got here is a vegetable 5-way blend of any kind of vegetables you can find in the freezer. And they got these in little 1-pound packs. And what's so simple about them is that they're frozen, so you can either slack them out overnight or just for a couple hours, and then you can, if they're from a frozen state, you just cover them with some water, and then microwave them for just a minute just to get them slacked out. And I always like to saute them first, just to get a little bit of flavor in there. Get the garlic going in there. You can get a little bit of salt in there at this point if you wanted to. At this point also, I believe on the recipe that I gave for your recipe cards, I also put egg. So you can have, if you're doing a scrambled egg, you can scramble an egg and you can have it also. You cook it first, clean out in the pan, and then at this stage, add it right back to it. This is also the point from here, you're going to want to add any kind of chicken. You can grill chicken breast or just cook a chicken breast, bake it, you can add your rice in. Your rice, and it's also perfect for this, this is rice that was cooked and cooled down, so that's how fried rice usually came about, is from day-old rice. So you can do it with fresh rice as well. When you're doing it with cold rice, though, doing with hot rice is really easy because by the time you toss it in, it's basically ready to go. But with cold rice, get a little bit of water in there just to loosen up your rice. And then, like I said, from here, you're going to put in your, like, say if you're grilling the chicken breast. Your chicken breast is kind of warm, so by the time you put it in, it heats right back up. You can put an egg if you want. You can go shrimp fried rice, pork fried rice, kind of any direction you want to go. So that's pretty simple right there. And then just for seasoning, put a little bit of green onion in, a little bit of soy sauce. And then you can do some sriracha chili to taste, how much ever you want. Especially if you're not cooking with oils or things like that. Sriracha is really good, something to add for more flavor so that you're not adding those extra calories. And then regular game, maybe a little bit more water. And then from here you're done. Really, really simple. Second dish I wanted to show you, and I'll kind of just walk you right through it, just was pork butt. Pork butt is really cheap. You can get it about $1 a pound. And how I explained it, how I wanted to explain it was you have your piece of meat. You can get a good 5-pound piece of meat for about $7. But the thing is this one pork butt's going to give you about 10, 12 portions. And so how you'd want to do that is you would, you're going to want to, the pork butt comes about this big, and you score it like you're cutting hatch marks, like how a steak looks. So 3 inches down, and then turn it and go 3 inches this way. I mean, you can just go across this way if you want, so you have it even. And so how did, if you look at the Kalua pork recipe, it's so simple. I put it into a half pan, and something about this size, which fit perfect. I put in, for every pork butt, it was 1 cup of soy sauce and a 1/4 cup of liquid smoke, or hickory smoke. And then I put about a cup of water in, covered it, and put it in the oven for 3 hours. And then when it comes out, then you can just pull it. And it's really simple. I mean, it just literally 3 hours, it pulls right apart. And a lot of people, when I have them taste this, always say, what do you think's in here? And I've had people spilling off about 10 different ingredients. It must be this, it must be this. Because it's Kalua, it must have Kalua in it. No, Kalua just means to smoke in the ground. I mean, there's 3 ingredients in here. Really simple. And why I wanted to show this technique, because what you could do with this was just a 5-pound pork butt. And if I were to put it out in portions, I mean, you can literally feed yourself for a whole week off of that. And you can go any direction. So this, with like I was talking about, just plain rice would be a beautiful dish, some steamed vegetables. But also what I do without the soy sauce, and I put it in the recipe tips also, is I roast off some garlic and some raw chilies and puree that with some cilantro and toss it in the pork, and then you got chile verde. Or you can just put in your barbecue seasoning, and then you got pulled barbecue sandwiches. So it's such a simple dish. Stretches a portion on that's about 75 cents. I make this at home at least once a week, and I put it into, I have a food saver. You use Ziploc bags, and I put them into 1-pound portions and put them in the freezer. So it makes it easy for my wife when she's cooking for the kids. She can drop them right into the water and cook them off that way. You can also just keep it in the fridge if you know you're going to consume it within 3 to 5 days. You can keep it in the fridge and just put it on in a pan, just heat it up with a little bit of water. It heats up really fast and easy. So if you guys want to go ahead and take a taste. Oops. Some fried rice and some pulled pork here. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much. Sorry.